everybody doing? Yeah. If I can, either today or tomorrow, I will try to do a makeup Minecraft stream. I will only be playing Diablo 4 for as long as I'm playing it. I keep getting killed in that damn thing. I will play that only on weekends. I'm going to try and do at least one Diablo 3 stream. Do at least one Diablo 3 stream on the weekends. And try to do at least one Minecraft fishing stream on the weekends. I might keep doing it if people show up. It's relaxing. It's easier to talk while you're doing that. You don't have to focus on anything. And the thing is, like right now, and I don't know, it might be something they nerfed because one of the Minecraft update streams I watched, I don't know if it was Silent Whisper or somebody like him that's a really good streamer that does these. They were going over either the current updates or the future of updates, and there's some stuff that they're going to fix on the villagers or change on the villagers. Okay, so we got. Okay, we're in. I can't remember. I may get my character killed with this in an early stream. I don't know. Okay, we'll stay on Act 2 because that's lower than 1 and 3. I will see if I can at least get to a bundle today. The next Minecraft stream, if I can get to it, and I can't. There were two things I kind of wanted to do, and one of them, something my brother was watching. He mentioned, and I really thought it would be better than what it was, but it was a National Geographic thing on. It was a National Geographic thing on. The National Geographic thing on. I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna try and go get the bundle.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, I got the second one. Okay. But it was on Roswell, New Mexico, and I was not really impressed with it. I just absolutely wasn't, and I am glad I watched it because I do think it's a good subject for a stream. I'm probably gonna have to fucking watch it again because I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I can't remember everything. I can't remember everything that I was concerned about.
Need more time. Not ready yet.
What the fuck? Did they fuck up the difficulty again?
What a monstrous creature!
It doesn't say I have to go in, it says I have to activate them, so let's go find these things.
I'm still waiting.
As soon as I get this guy up to level 70, if the season is still going, I will basically play my non-streaming character, just trying to get that up to level 70. But just to kind of preview it, what the fuck? But they had all this. This thing should do a shitload more damage. They cranked up the fucking difficulty on it, I think. Look, I've bought your new fucking game. Somebody got it for me. Fucking cut the bullshit off. I still like playing your old games, and I shouldn't be punished for it.
I need more hatred to do that.
No, you know, again, I don't know, but it's just on, and I didn't even look at the date. I don't know when it's being dated as being made, but I want to say most, if not all, of the footage on it is like old footage from like the 80s or the 90s, and I think it was, and I could be wrong. I might be biased on this, but it seems to me that it was not biased, but they were pretending to be, or it was biased, but it was pretending not to be. To give you an example, like in a game of Ebony, there was a guy. I want to be completely clear. One, I'm not recommending. If you want to go play it, it's actually a good game with the people. And I'm not talking all of most of the people in there on my team on the server. They're fucking great, but there's like a small handful of really, really toxic fucking people on there, and they made all these accusations against my team leader. And I gotta be honest, I have no idea if they're true, but the accusations, and some of them, they were just flat out. You know, it's like MAGA bullshit. It's like domestic terrorism bullshit. Where they're like, oh my god, you know, he's done all the, you know, like there was, this was years ago, there was a politician, and they made accusations about all the things this politician did, and there's literally no proof. This politician had not been charged, arrested, indicted, or even sent to jail for it, or court for that matter. And you know, and this was a good friend. It's somebody I actually have at least a modicum of respect, not as a thinker, but as a person, as a decent human being. And he goes, "What do you think about this?" And he showed me. I go, it tells me that a moron found Photoshop. And he's like, "What?" And I had to write back to him because he tagged me in on it, and the fucking right-wing nut job. It was one of those things, but they just didn't let you respond to it. I mean, I'm flat out fine. Like if somebody puts up something that's a lie, I'm completely fine with you deleting it. I'm completely fine with you blocking them. You know, if they're that fucking stupid. But you know, this is a person who I think knows she's full of shit and didn't want anybody coming on correcting the record, but I had to respond to him. I had to share it on his account. And I go, look, all this shows me is that a moron figured out how to use Photoshop. That's all this does. And I go, to give you an example, because what it was, they put a politician's picture up, and they put the black letter law of a crime she'd never been charged with, arrested for, indicted, or convicted of. And I told him, I just want to explain it to you. I go, I could take a picture of you, And this is what they did. And again, I really don't know if he did it or not, but you know, with what they charged him of, it clearly should have been a violation of the game. It clearly should have been a violation of the game. Ebony, King's Return or something. I don't recommend you play it. The game's great. The game is absolutely great. There's just enough toxic people, and they seem to get away with it that I wouldn't want to inflict that on anybody.
Not enough
Definitely
hatred.
no kids. Don't let kids play it. And anyways, I could take your picture and I could put it up on the internet with the statute or the code for punishment for molesting a dead horse. I could. And that's what here. They took a crime that she has never been. There's no proof. There's no evidence. She's never been arrested. She's never been indicted, and she definitely hasn't been found guilty of it. But she hasn't even been charged.
To do that.
She hasn't even been brought in for questioning for doing this shit. And and it's like, and it's just like that one douchebag that's in the high level douchebag. He's a heavy coining douchebag, but the douchebag in the game who basically said, well, it doesn't matter if it's true or not, it's just a good story. Yeah, if you're a fucking domestic terrorist. I don't even think he's from this country, so he'd be an international terrorist. And, and I could put that out on the internet. They'd see a picture of you, somebody they don't know, somebody they've never met. And a lot of them might actually think that you molested a dead horse. And I really don't think you did. And I think most of the people that created this know that this politician didn't do anything. But there's people out there they would think you molested a dead horse just because somebody that wanted to make fun of you put a picture up there with the criminal code for molesting a dead horse. And and then you'd have to deal with it. Could you honestly prove you've never molested it? You wouldn't be able to prove it negative. And and that's what they do. That's what they did to the leader of my academy, because thinking, my God, the stuff they accused him of, just turn it into the game. And then they started this shit like, oh my God, they didn't even prove the stuff they accused him of. They absolutely did not. They did not prove the stuff they accused him of, not at all. And then what they did was they started going, oh my God, if he'll do this in a game, what do you think he does at work? I think there's kids around him where he works. And I don't want to give any information about him, but there's a lot of jobs. He'd be working at the public library for all you know. And but they started dropping this shit. It's like, oh my God, and again, just fucking with him. The same thing, like the same shit they do to Hunter Biden, the same shit that they do to there's some politician that's running for office, and there's no indication she's done it. But they've alleged sex crimes on her or something like that, sexual deviance or something. It's nothing that's illegal, but it's meant to embarrass and shame her is what it is. And and then what they'll do is they get this out, and when that takes hold, they're like, oh my God, do her and her husband have kids? I can't believe this. Yeah, I can't believe anybody's listening to this shit. That's what I can't fucking believe. I can't believe that anybody in their right fucking mind is listening to this shit. Hey, come on. What the fuck?
Need not enough hatred. My hatred is too low. No, I will not do that.
That's fucked up, man. But oh my, yeah, that's what could happen. And he kind of quieted down, but this thing proves nothing. And okay, one of these two. I haven't been there. This got to be the other one, 'cause one of these two has to be the last thing I gotta get. When they put those portals up, I really wish they'd make them a different color. 'Cause, like, it shows up as an arrow, and it shows up as an arrow, and then I don't know which one is the one for the mission and which one is that extra pop-up. But yeah, that's what they were doing to him. Well, it's getting bad. They're at least not. I don't know if they blocked us or if they knocked it off. But the people that were doing it, I know I pissed a couple of them off. I think I backed a couple of them off. And there seems to be more people in chat now talking. Like, so I think maybe they're coming back. So maybe they did quit. Either that or maybe they unblocked. They word got back to them about what I said, but I kind of went off. And I told him, look, because one guy, he's like, oh my God, and this pissed me off. It's the group that's doing most of this. I think there's two groups involved, but the group that's doing most of it, their leader, or the guy that used to be their leader, he didn't say too much at all. And what happened was, when I started, I was thinking of maybe not playing anymore. So I'm like, you know what? Before I go, I'm gonna fuck with these guys. Okay, that's where the other one is then. Okay. And I told him, I go, look, he goes, oh, I've been kind of going off about this. I started, because they started attacking, they're not getting over Thunder, so they started attacking us in the fucking group. And, and it wasn't just us, it was other teams that started saying, look, I don't know who's leader of that team or just a member of it. Look, I don't want to be a moral judge here on anybody. And he goes, that other guy's right. If they did something wrong, report it to the game. If it's not a problem for the game, it shouldn't even be a problem for any of us. And we need to knock this off. And then they went quiet for a while, and then they started the bullshit up, and then they started attacking us. And I think the reason they did that is because we're still turning up, and it ain't because of me. We're still turning up like top 5 a lot. Not as much as we used to, but our team is still turning up top 5. And I think we might have had one spy in our network, pretty good guy. But after I kind of blew things up and I reported it to the game. I didn't report it through the normal thing, but on the Play Store, I put a review, and I just told my guy I would not recommend this game, and I explained why. I told him, I'm kind of on the fence of not playing anymore. I go, unless you want to monitor, the chat and everything, don't let your kids play, because you'll have to monitor it all the time. I go, I told him, I really don't know what happened. I honestly do not know what happened. And, but I go, some guy one of the team members came back. He hadn't played in a while, and he came back and dropped some text messages in our Alliance chat. And I go, it didn't prove anything he was talking about. He told World Chat he had all this proof about our team leader, because he did it to him, because he's basically a guy running around pretending to be a girl on the server, which is creepy enough as it is. And but he said this guy did it all to him. What he came in to show any of that. Nothing he claimed was shown. It was just him making the same proofless allegations against our team leader. And I go, and then in the discussion, our team leader was like, "Look, I didn't do any of that stuff. I was just joking around, conversation with another adult." And I go, and he basically said that, we were just talking, flirting around a little bit, completely harmless, nothing. He goes, then she basically told me she wanted to leave her fucking husband. And I told her, look, I can't take you in as a wife. I'm married. This is just harmless fun. Joking around. Well, she got all butthurt, it sounds like, and did this bullshit about him. And,
Always wanted to fight some of these.
And, I think the reason why it happened is I think the husband found out, because the husband is not acting surprised. These guys are fucking pissed. And it sounds like he was doing it with a whole bunch of these women. But again, they're just taking it out on the game instead of growing the fuck up and either accept it and realize you're in an open marriage or fucking get a divorce or go counseling or something, Ain't that fucking hard to figure out? But I said, I go, according to the text that this guy, I didn't do it. Thunder didn't do it. This guy came in and shared him. I go, it sounds like, some of those women might have been sharing nude pics on the server. And I go, this is a thing. This is why you don't want kids on this. Because I go, the people in there are basically saying the game doesn't care. Everybody can do this. The game doesn't care. And I go, you just don't watch kids around this shit. And
I am returning to town.
And well, then somebody immediately kind of sounded funny. That seemed to blunt him. He's like, well, yeah, but even still, we got to protect these. So it sounds like they knew about it. Sounds like they absolutely knew about it. And they're like, we got to protect these women. I go, at what cost? I go, I'm all for protecting these women, but I go, if these women accidentally or on purpose went around and stirred this shit up because of their behavior, I go, no, we don't have to defend those women at this point. They brought this on themselves. And I like every time they fucked with me, I fucked back, and I'm better at it. And so they quit. Like I said, they might have blocked me because one of the guys, and this guy wasn't even involved in it at first, but after I put some, he's like, I wish we could fucking block an entire alliance because I just don't need to hear what that guy is saying. Blah blah blah. I think his wife was one of them too. Again, I don't know. I don't know if my team leader's got like root beer flavored penis or what, but he seemed to be a favorite with those women. And because the other thing I put in, I go, hey, did anybody see that movie Lady Man with a whole bunch of pathetic losers who wanted to kill one guy for fucking their wives? And I go, all this shit that's going on in the game is making me think of that movie right now. That pissed a bunch of them off. And then, oh, that's a rare crossbow. Fuck that. Okay. And, okay, what do we got? Nope, we're not gonna do that one. So that's what's going on. But anyways, to get back to this thing I'm going to talk about, they dug up all these old clips, and like I said, looking at the film grade, I would guess they're like 80s or 90s. But you know, and that was the thing. You know, you had people in there that, you know, like that guy who was part of our team came in and he went into World Chase. Look, I'm not saying this is all so and so's fault. You know, it's like 90% him, 10% these women, and if you guys, you know, because like, oh, I'm on his team. Well, yeah, you haven't been there in like a fucking month. But he was on the team, so, you know, it comes off like more credible. And he was like, look, it's not everybody's fault. And he's like, those stupid women, he threw the fucking, they must talk about bullshit, you know. Those fucking women were stupid and shouldn't, well, then, you know, I'd say it's their fault, you know. But he came into Alliance and nothing he showed us backed up what he was claiming. But he's like going, if you guys want to keep him off the throne for this and blah, 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 that's fine. I support that. And then he came in again and trying to turn more people. One guy in our team, he said he's constantly getting messages from former team members passing emails on to him. And again, it's like what I've been saying. None of them offer any proof. And I think it got deleted, but I don't know how many people saw it first. But I typed into the chat. I go, hey, does any because that was one thing I said. I go, man, I go, you know, because that one guy, whatever Mancino or whatever it is, he's like, man, hate begins hate, blah blah, like it's my fault. And I go, you gotta be kidding me. I go, you're doing that? I go, I've been sitting here silent for months, not saying a damn thing. And I go, I'll be honest with you, the reason why, I didn't know anything. I go, I didn't know anything. Now I don't really know that much now. I go, all I can tell you is what I've seen. It looks more like he's the victim more than the one to be accused. Because I go, the thing I gotta ask is, if this was so bad, if this was so toxic, if some of those women were on his team for months, why were they there? You know, why were they there? And I go, I don't get it. I go, I literally don't get it. I go, if he was doing all this horrible shit, why didn't you tell everybody right away? Why did you wait until there was a good excuse to attack his team and drive some of his team members away? I go, this looks more like, you know, and again, if it was a problem, why did it go on for months and months and months and then suddenly become a problem after one of them said they wanted to leave their husband? And he turned her down. He said, look, I'm just here to chat and play a game. I'm not here looking for a wife. I go, why did that suddenly become a problem? And I go, you know, I'm sorry, but, you know, I come here to play a game. Not to be a marriage counselor, not to be the moral majority. You know, I go, if you got a problem, I go, if you got a wife, if you are a pathetic husband, and I go, more than likely, by the way these guys are responding in chat, I go, more than likely these women are in an abusive relationship. You know, they're probably in an abusive relationship, and I go, these people are real high-level guys. They play all the time. Because one guy made a comment that I'm not here to play, obviously, because of my level. I go, dude, I've been playing for like a couple months. I think I'm doing pretty goddamn good. But I go, you know, you guys that are having a problem with Thunder, maybe if you spent, you know, as much time focusing on your wife as you do on the game, maybe your wife wouldn't be running around looking for attention. The guy's like, oh, they come on here to play with us. That's why they can. I go, they come on here to pick up better men. That's why they come on here. They don't. I go, if they literally were here for you, then why are they joining other people's teams? And why are they sending all these dirty messages to other people? I go, think about it. I go, are you really that dumb? I go, seriously. I go, why are they here flirting with all these guys, telling them they want to leave their husband and marry them, if they're really here for you? And that guy hasn't, you know, again, might have been muted. Don't care. I'm not seeing it anymore in the world chat, so that's fine. And but I told him, I come here to play a game, not deal with this shit. And I go, if you are a pathetic loser of a husband, and I go, you got a wife that's bored, and you got a wife that can't fucking stand you anymore. I go, deal with that outside the game. It's got no place in here. And some of the attacking is down, but we've lost a couple more players. I'm not kidding you, because he said something. He goes, "Well, anybody wants to go on?" I told him, I go, "Look, I might quit the game," and I sort of put it out in chat. I go, "If anybody wants my subsidies, I'll give them to you before I quit." Because the green ones are no big deal, but I got a purple one, I got a blue one. I picked them up. Like Thunder gave me one of them. The other one I found. It must have got dropped during one of those. That might be why somebody's mad at me. They wanted that one, and I got it first. Maybe now they're attacking me because they want that subsidy back or something. I don't know. But it was just out there, and nobody had it. It was free. So I snagged it, and that's like a once-in-a-lifetime chance on that game. And so I don't know. But Thunder asked me, he goes, did anybody respond to you for? And I go, well, a couple people responded. Because I basically told them a story. I go, look, I had a buddy that I've known since school. And I go, after school, he graduated a couple of years ahead of me, but after school, he went into the military. And I go, this was like 30 years ago, so I can't really tell you for sure, but I think it was like about 30 years ago. I think it was when he was stationed in Germany, but I'm not 100% sure. And he was, I think it was when he was stationed in Germany. I go, he was fucking his friend's wife. And I go, because he told me about it, and I go, they'd be out doing their training. They'd be in their camos, they'd be in their gear. And this guy would sit there and be talking to him, like every time they went out, every time they were alone. Because he was good friends with the guy, and the guy never even suspected him. And he'd be like, man, I know somebody's fucking my wife. You don't know who did it? He goes, no, I got nothing to tell you, man. Sorry about that. And he goes, well, if you hear anything, you let me know. I go, well, if I find anything I think I need to tell you, I'll definitely let you know right away. And he said, I was starting to freak out a little bit, you know. And he must have been fucking her halfway decent, because when she was getting ready to leave her husband, she asked him to come and help him move. And fucking bury the hatchet one more time. I went with him. He wanted me there. I'm not that tough of a guy, but he knows a lot tougher than he was. He asked me to go in case the husband was there and flipped out. And so I'm like, well, yeah, I think we went to Nashville. He got a ticket. He got a speeding ticket, and I think we were talking about speeding tickets. Maybe he didn't get one, but I know we were talking about speeding tickets. But we went down and did that. But the way he was talking, and I told him this, to go, the way he was talking when he was screwing that girl, it seemed like everybody at the base knew. I go, there's another story to that, but it sounds like everybody but this guy at the base knew. And I go, it's probably the same way here, regardless of what they did. I go, most of the people on the server probably knew about this. They knew what was going on. They knew nobody was fucking complaining about it. And but yeah, that's what was going on, you know. And I told him the whole story, and I go, I gotta be honest, I really don't remember if my buddy told me that guy committed suicide when he found out, but he eventually found out. That might be why my buddy had to get transferred out of Germany. I don't know, but he eventually figured out, and I guess he fucking lost it when he found out his good friend was fucking sticking it to his wife. And but because that was the thing I wanted to get out there, because there's certain people that are like, oh, I knew, and it's like, well, yeah, but do you really know what you think you know, or do you know what Thunder and you know what Thunder was saying, and you're just assuming the rest of it. But I go, that guy was a bad husband, and I go, that's probably what's going on here. You look at the way they're acting here. You look at the way they're acting in here, and you're probably dealing with abusive husbands. you're really probably dealing with abusive husbands. And I asked him, does anybody out there understand that you could have a situation where you've got two consenting adults talking, flirting harmlessly, maybe even getting a little dirty, but they're consenting adults. There's an ability to block somebody if it's not consensual. There's a means to report it to the game if it's not consensual. And that one girl, she said this first, she goes, well, he deleted all the text, I can't report him. And I go, look, in this day and age, those are still on the computer somewhere. I go, he can't delete them off their server. And I go, most of those companies, I don't know if they're any different. They keep a copy of this stuff just in case there is some complaints. And I go, all you gotta do is report it. And I go, they would instantly be able to look up. They'd be able to see like what he did, what other people did. They'd be able to probably get to the bottom of who actually started it. Like, he really started, or did the girls in question, did they start it and then try to blame him for it when he didn't want to marry him? If anybody was sharing nude pics, they'd be able to get to the bottom of that too. Because I go, if you got one girl that started talking dirty to some guy, and then when he started talking dirty, they started sending them, nude pictures, they'd be able to get to that in a heartbeat. They'd really be able to get to that in a heartbeat. And that girl, well, first they came on trying to make my team look bad. Oh, she had to leave the server, and I go, that's when I told him, I go, look, from when the one guy came in and shared stuff on our server, and I go, it came out that some of these girls were sharing nude pics on the game. And I go, and yesterday I sat there and said, like, look, all of that's still on the computer. They can go look that up. Just because he deleted it, he can't delete it off of their server. And I go, just for cases like that, almost every company out there, even ones that aren't games, even ones that don't have online, they keep a copy of that stuff. So you can go back and look it all up. And I go, that's probably why she left the server. Because, people are finding out that if she was sending nude pics, and if this was a consensual thing, all you got to do, is report it to the game, because they'd have copies of all that. And, I'm not going to get into how, but I found out she was another fucking lie. It was another fucking lie. She never left the server. She just changed. She didn't even leave her fucking team. She just changed her name. These things that we're told by these people just do not pass the smell test. Like, he deleted it all. Game still got all of that. He can't delete it all. Unless he's a hacker, he can't delete that stuff off their servers. So, whoever, you, him, others, anybody that, did wrong stuff, that they'd be able to look into it and find out. And because the one guy, well, they don't do nothing for this. And I go, yeah, that's one theory, but I go, it's far more likely that they don't do anything about imaginary things that people are dreaming up or people lying about others. I go, if you actually report something real, and I go, and that's the other thing, even if what you're saying isn't a lie, which it probably is, I go, if you reported something and they looked into it and they're like, well, this is no big deal. This is just normal adult conversation. It's just not that bad. If you are a Jesus freak, then you need to maybe go play a different game, or block them. That would be the way to go. Nothing good. But yeah, but that's what they were doing in that documentary on UFOs. Like, they would present something like it was true, and I think a lot of, and again, the clips they were showing, they might have been before certain things were debunked. And but they were showing all this, and they just put it on. Now maybe it's an old one that they dug up, and that I could maybe excuse, but if that was a new one that they made, I would say that they are doing the work of the military-industrial complex and the big CEOs out there that do not want disclosure. That would be my guess. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the.
I need more hatred to do that.
That one thing I got, and I don't know which one it is, but it actually shoots a rocket every time I fire. That's kind of nice. Gives me a little bit more long range. Yeah, they did. There was stuff that was debunked. You know, again, to me, it looked like they were taking sides on it and desperately trying to look like they weren't being biased. It is what I took from it. Although one thing I'll say about that Diablo 4 is, if you don't want an upgrade system more complex than this one, don't upgrade. Don't go and play it. To me, elements of it feel like it's the original Diablo, and then there's a lot of stuff that doesn't feel like Diablo at all. Really, I really wish they'd either called it like Diablo Reborn to indicate that they're making some major changes, or called it something else. Because it's different enough that you could have called that, like, you know, Triumph or some bullshit, and been completely fine. Might have had to change the story a little bit, but they, on some level, I honestly think they bastardized the franchise a little bit, because like everything in this game, you can buy add-ons and stuff like that, but you know, pretty much items and stuff like that, everything's available to everybody. You know, like, you don't have to buy platinum coins to upgrade your stash. or whatever. There's things in there where you can make your chest bigger and stuff like that. Your chest in the stash where you can put items and stuff, not your boobs. But you can sit there and all you gotta do is get enough in-game gold, and you can go do it. There's just nothing to buy like that. Well, Diablo 4, and so there's just certain things I'm not gonna accomplish in that game. Diablo 4, it's like Call of Duty. There are just certain things you're never gonna unlock unless you pay for them. Doesn't matter how good of a player, doesn't matter how much time you put in. There's just certain things you're never gonna get. And so far, I haven't experienced it. Like when you play Ebony, there's a lot of things you need diamonds to do. Well, they've got a method for you to get diamonds for free in the game. They really do. There doesn't appear to be a mechanism, at least I haven't run across one where they actually, there isn't like a thing where you get so many platinum coins per level or anything like that. There's no way for you to go harvest or mine them. There's no quest you can do that I've seen where you can get platinum. You either spend the money or you don't get to play that feature. And that I don't like. Again, I don't mind that they're doing it. But I mind that they're calling it Diablo because they've kind of turned it into a cash whore for rich kids, you know. My mom worked 3 extra hours doing laptops so I could fucking do this. Yeah, and you're a horrible fucking person too. And for all the single moms out there that are fucking doing lap dances so that kids can play games, I do apologize. It's nothing personal. Your son's probably an asshole. I'm just kidding. Like, kids start getting hate mail from the single mom with OnlyFans pages. Yeah, that's not the attention I was looking from the OnlyFans crowd.
I cannot open this.
You won't survive that!
I don't even know why they bother giving you these things where, oh, you know, defeat all waves before the timer expires to get a bonus. Why did they even put them in here when there's just no way? There's absolutely no way you're going to be able to do it. That's just fucking stupid. I mean, it's not like I got to number 5 and just ran out. It's like I couldn't even finish level 2 before the timer ran out. It's like, hey, you guys are fucking... I don't know what's wrong. I don't know who cheated on that, you know, going by the stuff in Ebony. Hey, I don't know who fucked your wife. That was a thing, I even asked one. It was like the... I didn't hear anything, so they might have deleted it before it was in there too long. But the one guy that had gotten attacked before, I asked him, I go, hey, Hyatt, I go, did you bump uglies with somebody's wife? Is that why they attacked you? Or did they solely do it to harm your team and try to poach some of your players?
That is impossible.
But some of the features that are on the Diablo, I really like it. There are certain parts that, you know, all I want to say is, please don't spend any money on me. I think it's, you know, just a bad idea. That money could be spent on somebody better with more of a future. I sincerely mean that. I'm not bitter. I'm not upset. I'm just being honest. It, you know, would be far better to spend it on somebody else. But I do appreciate it. But there are elements of that game that I do like. I mean,
Not enough hatred.
I am returning to town.
but they just didn't. And the other thing, there was one of these famous debunkers. He was on there, and again, it really looked like they were. I might actually reach out to the Democrats that seem to be, you know, interested in UFOs and let them. Yeah, I really don't know, but I go. It's entirely possible that they're doing this at the bidding of the military-industrial complex or the other big corporations that might be tied up in this. Because I go, as far as I can tell, I go, their little thing didn't make any sense. I go, unless this was an old thing that they had just replayed, then you got to ask, well, why were you replaying this piece of trash? But they had all the famous, as far as I'm concerned, debunked criticism of UFOs, and I might have to watch it again before I say anything about it. I don't know, but this was one thing I didn't like. I took a moment to go into the menus, and I was getting fucking attacked. That thing needs to freeze the game like it does in here. It really, really does. It's getting hot now. Or I'm getting hot. But okay. We got evasive fire. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. Drop a bomb when you backflip. Yeah. Caltrop, smoke screen. Let's try that one. Okay, we got devices. Let's try that one. I kind of like that one. Okay, strafe. Okay, shoots homing rockets while moving. I kind of like that one. Okay, we got hot pursuit. Like that one, like that one. I'm getting lightheaded. I really wanted to get to one, but that thing I'm supposed to go to, it's either sending me to the wrong thing again because one of them portals is open and it's showing up on here and I can't tell the difference from that and the regular quest that I'm supposed to be on, or I gotta basically go through the Ho Chi Minh Trail to get to it. I'm just not gonna do it. Oh, you like that because when I shoot these guys, my speed boosts up.
I need more hatred to do that.
I'll try and get on later and do a Minecraft stream. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Peace out.